bartender.
Hey everybody, welcome to yet another episode of Who's That Anime with your hosts Steve and Colin.
It's an important one, Colin, for
It
two
is.
reasons.
What's the two reasons?
The first reason is
Mhm.
this is the last episode of Chainsaw Man. We're finally at episode 12. Katana versus Chainsaw.
Yeah.
But the other reason is this is our 100th episode of the podcast.
100th episode, you don't say.
100 episodes.
My God, who thought
Yep.
we would make it to the big 1-0?
Not me. This is the longest running podcast I've ever done.
And it's also the longest one I've ever done.
There you go.
That's mainly because this is the only one I've ever done. But
I've done 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my 5th podcast.
if
Yeah, I
Wow.
did. My first podcast had 54 or 55 episodes. My second podcast had, I think, 3 or 4 episodes. Actually, sorry, this is my 6th podcast. Shit. Okay.
6 podcasts.
Yeah, and then I did another one that had, I think, 10 episodes.
All right.
And then I did one that had 1 episode. And then I took over one for a website, and we did, I think, 4 episodes of that. It was 1 a month.
Okay.
And then this one.
And this is one you've chose to stay with.
Well, I began my podcasting journey in 2009.
2009.
Yep.
That's only, what, 13 years? 14?
It was 14 years ago exactly.
14 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So my video feed for you is all kind of screwed up, but it's fine in recording, so we can go with it.
Nice.
It's, oh man, every time you move, it's like, when you blink, it's like, you still have your eyes open, but like, not, like, you had like 2 images coming into the stream, but on the video, it's fine.
It's just an absolute horror show everywhere else.
Yeah, on the stream for you coming in, because I
Amazing.
just hell. Anyway, that's that. 100th episode. We should have fanfares that are going.
Do I have, hang on, maybe I have a hat of some sort I can wear.
I could put this wee tiny Christmas hat on. Look, it's like a party hat. Steve's gone, so it's all right. I'm talking to myself.
I'm back.
How you like my hat?
That's a good hat. Oh no.
No, wardrobe
That's the
malfunction.
cat
Yeah.
hat. Amazing.
It's not going to stay.
Nah.
I can wear it under my nose because my nose is massive. So I could do that.
This is good for an audio medium.
Yeah. So that's just more incentive to watch the YouTube video when it comes out in 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's right. I will spoil it though. I am wearing a My Hero Academia hat. So
Plus Ultra hat.
Plus Ultra.
I am wearing a Santa Claus hat.
Yep.
It is made for a cat.
Christmas. A hat fit for a cat.
Yes.
So, shall we dive into this then, Colin?
We'll get it over and done with.
We had left off in the last episode with Aki having the very life choked out of him by the ghost devil that was regurgitated by the snake devil.
Speaking of choking out, this hat is a choking hazard apparently,
I mean, it would be if you tried to eat it.
and it is not a toy, and it's for pet use only.
Well, you probably shouldn't be wearing it then.
I'll put it in my hand. Look, I'll put it. Oh, hang on. I'll give it to Flyark. It's probably more suited on him anyway. Yes. Anyway, so he's getting choked out,
Yep, he sure is.
and his eyes start to water. Really like the fact when they do things like this that they actually get to have watery eyes and stuff.
Yeah, there's a well, it's what is it, Mappa, the name of the studio. They're the ones that did Attack on Titan as well, right?
Yeah, yeah, I like the fact that
Or
they
at least
show
the
proper
latter
pain.
seasons. They definitely have a penchant for showing people's agony in very detailed ways.
Yeah. So he's getting choked out,
Yep.
and
Yeah,
has a flashback
he
of
does.
of Himuro. Himuro?
Himeno. This is a it's a flashback we've seen before, um, of her trying to coerce him into having his first cigarette.
Yeah, but it's more in detail this time,
Yes.
where he goes, I don't want to rot my bones, I need them, type thing. And she says, go on. It's like, fine, I'll have it. You do realize I'm a minor, though. It's like, wait, you're a minor?
Whoa,
Oh,
whoa, whoa.
can't be having that. Right, give us
None of
that
that.
back. uh, she seems to have a thing for minors. It's a bit worrying.
Yeah, it is extremely worrying.
I mean,
She is dead now. So
she has passed now. Or has she? Because the intro still kind of shows her in the intro.
I know. I did look up uh her profile in the Chainsaw Man Wikia, and it does say deceased. So
Hmm.
not reborn or anything like that. So I don't know.
Possibly. Who knows? I haven't
Awesome.
read the
Yeah.
manga, so this is my only instance of the show, of the medium
Yeah.
of Chainsaw Man. Uh, yeah. And then next thing you know, he's kind of lying in front of the ghost and pile of arms that he's chopped off recently,
Yep.
and an arm is stretched out, and it's just you can look at his eyes, his face is sewn up, mouth and eyes, and the hands outstretched with a thing going here, have this, and he's like,
Yep.
what? And the snake lady is going, what the fuck's going on? Because it's not doing what I told it to do. That's not good. I don't like this. This is a bit worrying. And then opens the hand, and there's a cigarette in the hand, and it says "Easy Revenge" on the
Easy
cigarette.
revenge.
On the cigarette. That doesn't even make sense. And then he starts.
No.
Then he starts like going, that's right. The ghost devil doesn't have any eyes, and it only feeds on fear.
Yep.
So that he kind just walks up at its head, stands on its head,
Just cuts it to death.
and lobs the head off. And
Yeah.
Kami is like, "Oh fuck!"
She's about to summon the snake again,
Yeah,
and she's like, oh, and doesn't because Kobani's there. She's
yeah,
she's a quicken.
yeah,
Uh, she's right behind her, holding a knife at her throat.
yeah. And I don't know if he was saying stop to Akane, Or Kobani, who's about probably Slayer.
I think he was saying it to Kobani because he wants to talk to he wants to know more from Akane. So because I think he does actually say he's like, don't kill her.
Yeah,
Um, but
don't do
yeah,
that.
it's I think like is this the bit as well where like Aki uh asks Kobani why she's like, why are you still here?
Yeah, you could have
She's
left.
like, oh well, bonuses are coming.
Yeah, very much.
Oh man,
Absolutely hates the
that's
job.
rough.
And it's like, bones are coming.
Yeah, loves a bonus though. Um,
Yeah,
so yeah, that's been pretty cool. Uh,
and that's the end of
is
that.
I hmm, hmm,
What? What?
I think the bit I was talking about, the bit
Mhm.
with Power and Denji was in the last episode. We didn't talk about it.
No, no, it cuts to them in the lift now.
Does it do that now?
Yeah, yeah, they're in the lift, and
Oh, thank God.
yeah, they cut to it now, and they're in the lift, and they want it lift, and Power seems to have a zombie arm and starts eating it. He's, oh, that's gross.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't care, it's meat. Meat is meat.
Any blood,
Yeah,
anything.
some of that. And then,
And then the doors open and
yeah,
there's a bunch more zombies. She's like,
yeah.
oh, they uh they haven't heard us yet.
Yeah, yeah. Then she says, like, you don't say anything, don't be too loud, they haven't heard us yet, it's all good. And of course, Power goes, Cower, fear mortals, for it is I, Power the greatest. I'll slay you all. Denji, have my back, type thing.
Yeah.
And wanders out into the corridor and just starts hacking at them.
It's we're following her the whole way. She's hacking and slashing and just like jumps up onto one's shoulders and just like decapitates it with like two blades. And she's
Mhm.
like, haha, witness me. And
Yeah.
then it cuts to Denji who's just standing there yawning in the lift, the elevator, as the doors shut. He just didn't bother leaving.
No, no, it's before that. She probably walks out and starts hacking, slashing, and then the door's kind of like shut as
Yeah,
he's
just
like,
disappear.
he just like goes up the lift, and then she goes, "Witness me, Denji. There's a worthy adversary. Watch me slay it." And that's like
It's so
the
good.
8 foot tall one, and that's the one he
Uh,
cuts.
It's
And then
so stupid.
and then he just goes up the lift, yawning. Yeah, and he gets to
Yeah.
floor 12 or something, and there's the dude, the big
Yep.
man,
Katana Man.
big katana man, and he's like, "All right, Denji, I don't want any hassle with you, like, but just fucking die."
Yeah.
Think of
But
what you
we're
done to my grandpa and all our subordinates and all that, and feel bad for him and commit suicide or seppuku to honor them type thing
yep.
intentionally. Like, no, I don't care. I'm not caring at all about this. How can you not care about the guy? It's like then he doesn't even say like, oh well, before I killed them all, they chopped me into bits.
Yeah, Denji that doesn't even factor. Denji's just like I don't care. Like you're getting in the way of me eating the meals I want to eat and being comfortable, and I want that to stop.
Yeah, very much. Yeah.
I need you not to be in the way of my comfort, which I have achieved now. So yeah, so they get into a pretty big fight on a train.
Yeah, well, they had like the wee conversation about the whole thing, and then he gets a bit upset, the Kanji man, and he's like, "All right, well, that's fine by me. Let's get this on." And he pulls his
Yep.
cord, and then they burst out the side of the building, like bricks and all.
Yeah, it's in like proper Matrix style
Yeah,
attacking through the air.
yeah,
It's cool. It's cool.
yeah. So yeah, and they finally just get thrown onto a train, and everyone kind of like fighting on top of the train, and then there's one scene where James just like, "Oh, does he go?" And he's like, just see him coming from the bottom, just throws him through the roof of the train,
Yep.
and then everyone in the cars below went, "Oh shit, that's not good." Mercy
this is all
stop.
bad.
Yeah.
I like the because of course we get the Katana Man special, which is I'm going to be over here, and then I'm going to be on the other side of you,
Yeah.
holding my blades down at the side of me, and you're like, oh, this doesn't seem good at all. And we just see Denji with no arms.
Yeah, he does it a couple of times. It's just but he kinda like gets thrown into another carriage and there's a woman there and he kinda like, oh
Oh
wait, hang on.
yeah.
Stop. Stop, wait. And he's like, oh,
Nope.
cuts his arm off. And
Yep.
it's just Monty Python.
Yeah, he does say he's like, well, you made the mistake of leaving my.
Yeah. You lose my head clean off. It's like, oh, it's over, Denji. Accept it. And it's like, no, it's not. It's
No.
only a flesh wound.
Yeah, it like literally is Monty Python. And then yeah, we get a bit of a vice versa here, where it was before Katana Man doing the "you're already dead" moment,
Yeah, yeah,
but this time he's like, "Wait, what happened? Why are you just?" He's like, "Well, you see, you focus here. You shouldn't have done that."
yeah.
And
You
it just
focus.
turns around to him. It's so good. It is a proper old fashioned like manga anime trope that I really love. Is people just falling apart.
Yeah, so he's kind of like he's doing the thing, and he's like, "You still left my head. Let's do it." And he's like, "Oh, fine." And then he goes for the head, and then she's like, "Ah, you dipshit! He totally went for my head, or you should have went for my legs." And he pulls out his leg, and it's got like a big massive chainsaw on his leg.
Yeah, you shouldn't have done that. And
He
it's like,
got
yeah,
yeah, he got a wee bit of suspense because his chainsaw on his head's been chopped up.
yeah, it's broken as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we just see him kind of go
Split in half,
and
yeah.
split. It's so good. Like that will that might be my favorite trope in anime and manga is the sort of the moment that someone realizes that something terrible has happened to them and then the reaction.
Yeah, yeah, it's a full Looney Tunes
Oh,
moment of
it's
when they go off
yeah,
the cliff.
Wile E. Coyote going, "Oh, hang on,
Uh,
there's no
nothing done
ground
there.
here."
Ah, yeah,
Shit. Yeah, I think that's it's a lot of fun. And like you say, it can be incredibly suspenseful as well, even though you know you feel it coming.
yeah,
Um, it's like actually when we saw it in the previous episode with Aki as well, like when he just
yeah,
cuts right past him and you just see his chest go like blood
yeah,
everywhere, and you're like,
yeah,
holy shit, that was bad. That was a bad hit you
yeah.
took.
It's certainly the samurai trope of like being so fast that thing you're done the move and you got like a few seconds to berate your adversary.
Yeah,
It's it's kind of it's kind of cool. I thought maybe the fight scene would last a bit longer. Like I thought it was going to be like, oh, he's chopped off like the head chainsaw, but now he's
yeah,
going to go high with some other chainsaw from some other place. But no, it was all in that
no,
one final motion. Uh,
yeah,
and then battles ends, and he's all tied up on the train.
yeah, yeah. Well, they're outside the train now
Hmm.
because he's like he goes, oh, you're just like me.
Yeah,
Uh, I took your katana hands off and you just kind of like grew back together.
yeah,
He's got them all tied up.
yeah.
Um, and this I think this is where this is where Aki joins him.
Yeah, because he's called in, he's captured the guy, and he's like, and they're on about how he hates Denji type thing and
Yeah,
stuff, and I can't remember, but Denji's basically, oh well, you know what? I got a fun game for you because you like killed Himio and stuff like that,
Yeah,
and
so
then yeah,
we've a very good game, a
yeah,
tournament, if you will.
yeah, and
Uh,
then Aki appears and he's like, "What's this about a game?" It's like, "Oh well, I thought we could just like kick on the nuts and see who makes the screams the loudest."
I like Aki's reluctance at the start. It's like, we're here to capture him. We're not here to like get revenge. And he's like, yeah, but you did kill Himeno, and he's right here. And then like Aki's sort of pensive and looking at the ground, and eventually just kind of stands up and puts his sleeves up, and he's like, so what do I win if I
Yeah,
if I do this? And he's like, well, his testicles.
yeah, sure, yeah, it's
Of
testicles.
course.
I mean, they're just mangled them, so it's
Oh my god, it's very funny. They do like basically kick a man in the nuts to death almost.
certainly quite hard.
Oh yeah.
It was Aki looks at that cigarette that you got, and still says easy revenge, and that's I think sweet as mine. I was like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Uh, and then Katana Man is basically like, "You're not serious, are you? Wait, no."
It's like, oh no, like very serious.
and
Very serious.
and there's whacking them in the nuts,
Oh,
and
it's
he
very
he
good.
go ding, ding, ding. And then Aki goes, "Oh, I'll be there soon." But listen, this is like a wee serenade for you.
Yeah, it's
All
pretty
right.
good. And then I think we cut to Makima, right?
Uh, yeah. So you got Makima in the office saying uh, that Aki they kind of like had a contract with Gun Devil, and the guns weren't quite what this is, but they're looking for the heart of Chainsaw Man.
Yes. Uh, I think she also explains that after they detained Akane,
Hmm.
uh, the Snake Devil just like murks her.
Yeah,
Like, just while Kobani is like taking her through the hallway, just comes out and goes like, "Ah, head gone," and then disappears.
yeah. It was like
Uh,
because she's getting like debriefed, and it's like, yeah, I didn't really have time to ask her that, and
yeah,
it's all suicide. All right, yeah, it's possibly part of the contract with the Gun Devil or something.
yeah. I think like it was like almost a get out of jail free card for the Gun Devil that it had an agreement with the Snake Devil that it's like if any capture happens, you make this stop.
Yeah, seems that
So yeah,
way.
it's wild. That's crazy that she's dead already.
Yeah, big bad manipulator, and she's dead. But the good news is, I think they found, was it?
1.1.4 kilograms of Gun Devil flesh.
Yeah, and they already have about 5 kilograms,
Yep,
and
and
it's
that's the good news. The combined amount is now starting to move towards the location of the Gun Devil.
yeah,
Finally,
yep. And then it cuts to the end credits.
yeah, but there's still stuff to happen.
Yeah,
It's kind of weird because like that bit kind of happens over some of the credits.
yeah. So Aki, Denji, and Kara all go out to celebrate. I think and buy a big like tea.
Yeah,
And they're all having their stuff, eating away, having fun, and tidying things up and about to have a nap. And Aki goes outside and finally smokes that cigarette. It says "E.T. Revenge."
yep,
And then it kind of cuts to Denji who's snoring on the floor, and then it cuts back to the very start of like the whole show, very start of episode 1,
yeah,
but goes into further detail. Because the start of episode 1, he's having that weird dream where he's walking down the street, down into back alley to a door,
Yep,
breathing
with
heavily.
sort of notes and stuff on it.
Yeah, and he's a wee kid. It turns out to be a wee kid. And then he hears
Pochito. Pochita.
Pochito. Yeah, it's like, oh, are you behind there? Maybe I can get to see you in this dream. And he's like, don't open the door.
Yeah. And then it sort of fades again, and then it's it's a woman asking Denji. It's like, so you want to be a country mouse or a city mouse? And
Yeah,
then that's it.
that's the
That's the
end
end
of
of
the
the
episode.
episode.
Yeah,
Oh, wild, wild.
nothing to leave you like going, what?
Yeah.
That's
Um, I'm pretty shocked
whereas.
they killed off Akane so quickly, but that's interesting.
Ah, well, gotta keep the suspense. I mean, she got
Well, they
captured
do
pretty
like to kill
easily.
off what is perceptively a big bad to show that they're sort of bottom rung.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the the early 2000s Spider-Man movies
Uh,
with
like
Tommy Maguire in it.
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire, yeah. They
How
all,
so?
because every bad guy you fought died at the end of the movie. Green Goblin
Yeah, that's
died.
true.
I can,
Wait, did Doc Ock die?
yeah, sure he did. I'm sure he took out the arms or
Oh, maybe.
and like came omniscient. I was reading a fan theory about that. Now that they got what was the one? What was the last Spider-Man movie?
Well, in that trilogy,
Yeah. No, and
the one with, or most recently.
yeah, the one that does the whole
Oh,
multi-dimension thing.
No Way Home.
Yeah, because he's in that. And one fan theory is
Yeah, he
like
is.
that he gets pulled away just for that point, and then goes back to that point, and that's why he changes at the end of the movie. I don't really remember that
Oh,
Spider-Man 2.
interesting.
Uh,
I like Spider-Man too.
yeah, and then they killed Sandman off and Venom off in the third movie.
It's true. I
Just
really don't like that third movie.
is it the cocky dance?
No, it's just all of it. It's just all of it. The first two Spider-Man movies are great.
Mhm.
The third one's not good. And then
Yep.
there's the Amazing Spider-Man. The first one I really liked. I
Yeah.
didn't really care much for the second one. And then I've liked all of the ones with Tom Holland as Spider-Man. So
Those have been good ones. The
oh,
first one,
and Enter the Spider-Verse. I like
oh
that too.
yeah, and they got a sequel to that coming out. But
I don't really care so much for that sequel. I just want to watch the original film over and over and over.
was it Amazing Spider-Man? The Amazing Spider-Man.
Hmm.
Uh, that end bit where he kind of promised the dying father, even though he could probably save the dying father by like give him the reptile gas to like bring him
Uh-huh.
back to life and save him. Uh, he makes a promise of not seeing his daughter again, and then he leans over at the end of it and goes, "But some rules are okay to break,
Broken.
right?"
Mm.
That's not a fucking bit of a callous dick
I
move.
Yeah, I just like the fight scene with Lizard Man in the school with Spider-Man. It's really cool.
Oh, that's right. Good fight scene. I think I've already watched it once. Then he had like the invisible cranes
That was less good.
where they all lined up at the end. So like Spider Man, we'll do this. I'll sing all my buddies on the other cranes.
That's another podcast in itself.
Yeah, that's I
But
don't
yeah,
know.
how are you feeling? How do you rate this one, Colin?
I'm
The end of
feeling
it. Yeah.
feeling all
How are you
right.
feeling on this one?
Um, I don't know. I thought like the fights didn't last that long. They kind of were like, ah, yeah, that's a thing. Oh, it's over type thing. Like for the ghost one is like a bit weird. It's like I'm getting choked out and I have a flashback now. the ghost remembers me, remembers Himio, and Himio's feelings for me, and my feelings for her.
Yeah, yeah. I
That's
That's one of my favorite scenes in the movie, not because it's a fight in the movie, in the episode, just because
uh,
it's really interesting, like narratively, and it's kind of a it looks nice, but it's not really a fight scene. It's just
it's a
an
thing.
execution.
Yeah. I like the kind of the end bit where he gets up and goes, "Ah, this is how you defeat it." But I just feel
Yeah.
like like it's come to the final episode of the season. Think there'd be a bit more bang for buck in the fights, and
Well, the fight scene with Katana Man's pretty good.
yeah, it's all right. I just I just felt like it was kind of like over. There wasn't much in it. The training that he's done in the previous two episodes didn't seem to be much more, and then maybe being a
No,
bit smarter.
That's an interesting point. Yeah, like I guess maybe we're supposed to like believe that the chainsaw legs is because of the training, like
But
the idea to.
yeah, but he had like where he fought the Black Devil, didn't he? He brought them out for that, or was it
Yeah.
the Leech Devil?
Either way, like I guess it's the intelligent use of them rather than just wanton violence, which he also does.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I think this is another like I thought Akane getting snaked was crazy cool.
Hmm.
Um, I like them taking turns kicking the dude in the nads. Uh,
Yeah,
I like the Ghost Devil scene generally, and I liked Kobeni saying that she was really looking forward to bonuses.
yeah. There's not really much happening in this one. I feel for the
I
last
think it's
episode.
an eight for me. I think
Yeah,
it's good. It's just like the other stuff was better.
yeah. Well, usually, I mean, it's got like a interesting cliffhanger in the sense of some random lady's like asking you want to be a mouse or a country mouse or a field city mouse.
City Mouse, yeah,
What's
yeah,
that
that
all
is
about?
weird.
Probably her mother, but his mother, by the way.
The thing with this show so far is I find Chainsaw Man to be the least interesting character to a degree because there's been occasions where you're just like the one where Aki's in the hospital and he's
Yeah.
like, would I? He's like, yeah, is he crying? That's embarrassing. Although he did just lose his friend. He's like, why am I not upset? Like sort of that kind of whole self-evaluation stuff, but then
Hmm.
it gets immediately brushed away with, nah, probably not. I don't know. Like I just kind of want to exist. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess. Like, I guess.
That's some weird depression shit. But he's
It just
kind
feels
of
like,
had it for so long. It's kind of like he's just used to it and numb in a
yeah. I
sense.
think that's the thing is that there is a numbness there. But like even Power, who just kind of rants and about being self-sufficient and not really needing anyone,
Yeah.
like she's no need to really be there. She could really escape. She could get away. Like that wouldn't really be that difficult. They've got bigger things to deal with right now than her not being in the way. But she hangs about,
Ah, she's just
you know.
lonely.
She is. She's lonely, and I think that's an interesting character trait. And I think the thing about Kobani as well is like there's obviously a lot more to her than that, and Makima is like a just a fucking Pandora's box waiting to be unleashed upon whatever this show ends up being. And even like Kishibe as well, like just interesting backstory, and I kind of want to know more about them because obviously like incredibly skilled
Hmm.
fighter and things like that. And Aki is just like driven with purpose, like and
Hmm.
so self-sacrificial. There's so little care for self, and like all of that's really interesting. And just by comparison, the show is called fucking Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, it was just basically like, oh look, there's this dude that can turn into chainsaws, arms and
Like
head.
I get that the kind of story revolves around him,
Yeah,
and I feel like it's more sort of like he's the plot piece. He's sort of the thing that's propelling the story along to a degree, but he's
yeah.
not the thing that I find interesting.
No, no, I agree. He's just a. He's not anything special
No, like
in the sense.
I like his improvement,
What where
and I like that
he's got
I
smarter
like his
because of
yeah,
glasses.
because the glasses,
'Cause of the
and
glasses.
I do like the in air quotes friendship with Power. Like I think they are a fun dynamic, and like I think there is a degree of it where like whether he wants to admit it or not, I think like he is probably more sentimental than he'd care to admit.
Yeah,
Um, but
yeah,
it's just not shown in any real way. It's just very dismissed. So I'd like to see a little bit more about Denji to make me feel more for the character.
yeah. Oh, maybe that's what's coming up, man. Maybe that's this
Who
field
knows?
mouse, city mouse thing.
Maybe.
Uh,
How do you rate this episode then? Do you think an 8 is fair? Would you go less, more?
eh, I'm gonna go with 7. It's fun. It's leading to some interesting stuff, but like I
Yeah.
say, I feel like it was maybe the big climatic fight, ending of like the season, and it's just like it, was, it wasn't nothing
Yeah.
special. I mean, cool chopping Katana Man in half with his
Hmm.
leg chainsaw, and it's just literally
Hmm.
like he's not a small man.
No.
He's not a small man, and he leaps and like goes. "Mrr." I suppose he must be diving straight forward, going like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
That makes more sense. And then he doesn't realize that he's been chopped in half until then he just goes like, "Ha, you're already dead."
You forgot about chainsaw legs.
Yeah, motherfucker.
So good. So
Yeah,
good. Well,
yeah.
like I think we've not talked about it, but I think like, you know, when season 2 comes around, maybe we go back to season 8 of the podcast and keep talking about it for a little bit.
Season 8. Keep calling it season 8.
Yeah, I think we could append some additional episodes to season 8.
Um, all right. I don't see how that works. We should be calling seasons then. We should just be calling casual. Not casual. Who's that anime
No,
does Chainsaw Man?
but it is that
Yeah,
each
but
season represents a thing we talked about.
yeah, but you can't go back and you gotta go on season 9 and then you go,
You can.
aha,
I've seen it done. I've seen it done very specifically in the podcast world.
podcast world doing what?
Yeah.
Podcast world doesn't. No podcast. Nope.
True Crime Garage went back to season 5 after finishing up on season 7 because they had supplemental episodes to do for season 5.
Nope. Not a thing. Shouldn't be a thing. You shouldn't be able to
Oh,
go back.
you can call them what you want. That's what I'm going to call them. No, maybe I won't. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But
It should be
I think like
sequential.
to suffice it to say, I think I would like to come back to do more
Season 2.
Chainsaw Man. I think it would be good.
Yeah, we'll get to
Um,
see what the crack is. It's our release date.
I don't think so. I don't have anything on that.
No.
Let me
Ah,
see if there's any inkling. I'm pretty sure it's been renewed for season 2.
mm-hmm. I think so.
Um, uh, 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 I mean, there's nothing really. There's a lot of suggestion that it would be 2024 before we saw a new
Oh well,
season.
we can talk about it more when it comes out. Because
Oh, it hasn't officially been renewed.
oh, all right,
Although they're saying that, there's lots of source material still to cover. And of course, it's very hard to imagine that they wouldn't continue to do what was successful. So,
yeah, you never know. Stranger Things has happened, and it
yeah,
has. It came out 3 seasons. Stranger Things,
4.
4 seasons of Stranger
It's
Things.
about fifth season comes out this year.
There you go. Stranger Things has happened. 5 seasons. Not watched a single one of them. Mm-mm.
They're good. Season 3, 2. Season 2 is not very good.
I watched The Imperfects. That's probably my first live action thing I watched in a long time.
Imperfect.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Oh man.
It's got some comedian in it. I didn't realize it was a comedian until it popped up because I've also watched Imperfects and he's in it. So, oh, look, it's a stand-up show.
I have watched recently The Recruit, The Rig. It's been the live action stuff I've watched.
They're movies, though, right?
No, no, no.
Oh, oh no, the rig is some drama on
It's an
an oil
Amazon
rig.
series. It's a sci-fi drama horror thing.
Was it
Yeah.
on an oil rig?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I thought it was just, what was the there was an oil rig drama that used to be on like TV like in the
Oh.
90s. Can't remember. Don't think it was.
Oil rig drama TV
Yeah,
shows.
like a soap.
Uh,
It's on about
in the UK?
in the UK. Yeah, it was on about around about that one that went on fire. Oh, Papa or something. But it wasn't about that. It just so happens that it was on air at the same time.
The only thing I can see is the rig because yeah.
So that's all you need to
Um,
know.
it's I wouldn't recommend it. It's not a total waste of time, but it wasn't great.
Yeah, The Imperfects was teen trash. I'm going to call it.
Amazing.
It
Sweet.
was. It was
I
just. It was
I've
just.
created a letterbox account this year,
All right.
so that I can keep track of the movies I'm watching and want to watch. So I have created a horror movie list of 142 horror movies.
Uh huh.
And I found a guy who has created a thing that lets you a URL randomly select a movie from that list,
Okay.
and that's how
Oh,
I'm going to get through them.
oh dear.
I will get there. That
Doom.
sounds like a good time to end it, Colin, since you're dying. Um,
Only for the
but
shortcut. Yeah.
yeah, we have. This has been another episode of Who's That Anime, and we are finishing with Chainsaw Man. We'll be back with our palette cleanser next week,
Hmm.
and then back with a new season again once we've decided what that is.
Oh yeah.
As always, Who's That Anime is an anime podcast and can be listened to where all good podcasts can be listened to. Our home is at anchor.fm/Who's That Anime. If you want to leave us a review, that'd be amazing. 5 stars is always welcome, and anything less with some feedback would be super cool. If you've already reviewed us or can't review us and want to try and help the show, telling a friend is the next best thing to do. We don't really make any money from this, so we don't do advertising or anything like that. So spreading the word the good old-fashioned way by telling other people is really, really the best way. We have a Facebook page, that's facebook.com/Who's That Anime, where we post the latest episodes and the occasional anime meme. We also have a Discord. You can find the link to that in the show notes. We have a YouTube channel. Colin painstakingly puts together the video versions of these episodes.
Mhm.
Colin, what episode will we be at on the YouTube channel at this point?
Episode 9, if it all goes according to plans.
We'll hope that the 3 week trail continues. Episode 9 on the YouTube channel. Also, if you want to give us a subscribe there, that would be amazing. You can find it by going to youtube.com, searching for Who's That.
Yeah.
Colin and I also like to play video games sometimes. Colin at twitch.tv/couchfuel and myself at twitch.tv/hailpayman. There are archives of all of the games and things we've played on those on YouTube. So if you want to find the archives, you can go to youtube.com and find them by searching for Couch Fuel or Hail Payman.
Yep.
And that's us.
Yeah, that's it. That's us done. Done with Chainsaw Man.
We'll be back with
Yeah.
Chainsaw Man. I think like if we're still podcasting in 2024, that show comes back. I think we'll come back to it.
Yeah. We'll see if timing works out well and everything like that. Or we can
Maybe we
maybe
need to do a refresher and watch the first season again at some point.
you know what happens? He got chopped up, turned into Chainsaw
Yeah.
Man.
Do you know what? Actually, I will listen to our podcast episodes in preparation for it.
Yeah, we can, and then you can start with season 8 again, and just wipe the future episodes away
Wipe out everything else that happened
after this point.
Yep.
Yeah. Just like,
so we can do whatever we want between now and then because it's not going to matter. It's going to disappear.
yeah, it's just going to disappear, man. It's just going to be like Steins Gate all over again.
Oh man, let's not do anything as long as those two this year if we can help it.
I thought you were talking about doing something. Oh, it's Monster.
Yes, but not in as many episodes.
No.
Like, because we cannot do 6 months of the same show again. That was, as much as I enjoyed it, that was a hard go.
Yeah, moving on from that was good.
It was hard to move on.
And it was good to come to this one because this was certainly a different kind of thing. Because
we've definitely stepped away from our normal genre.
Yeah, this is certainly a superhero thing more than like crazy controversial twist plot turns like there was in Hierarchy and fucking Steins Gate and Lane.
Even Cowboy Bebop to an extent.
Cowboy Bebop had that overall arch, but it was more. There wasn't really much conspiracy. Oh, actually, talking about conspiracy theory, right? My thought on this, right, until almost the last episode, was that fucking crazy eyeball lady,
Makima, yeah.
Makima, yeah. She's like I was thinking this is like a weird Good Omens kind of like deal where she's like the angel person.
Okay.
Maybe like Gabriel or something like that, because they're intent on going to war with the devils in Good Omens, and what was David Tennant's character in Good Omens again? What was the devil's name?
Asking.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Well, he was Crawley.
Crawley, yeah. So like maybe not Crawley because him and the angel buddy came pretty pally-wally and stayed on Earth and kind of like their lives on Earth, and hence why they're trying to stop the whole end of the world thing happening. But like it's like that, and I thought Akane was like some like leader of some devil form, because they also know of Makima and her powers. Because
Yes.
since like people started squishing, they're like, "Damn it, it's her! I thought we got rid of her."
I'm
Also,
I'm confident she's a bad guy.
oh, Makima.
Yep. Like there's no public service. Like
That's,
we've seen conversations about weird wars with Russia and things like that. So there's something else going on.
yeah, well, I don't know. I think she's just a take on a different side. So, like saying Good Omens and pretty much even Diablo, and I think probably even the Bible type thing. They had the war against good and evil, and the angels against the
Mhm.
devils, and mankind was just in between, in a different, like a border realm, essentially, and they got to go through that to get to each other. And I think it's just another take on that type of story.
Mhm.
So, angel devil is probably actually an angel. It's maybe with Makimir. Because they kind of look kind of similar.
Yeah, I guess so.
Don't know. I haven't really looked into their eyes, the angel devil, because you only see them in this episode.
True. True.
Uh, that's a food for thought, and that's me blowing Steve's mind on the last episode of the
Wow,
season again.
that happens every year,
Every
every
year,
time, every season.
every, every season. That
Um, so we leave you. This is the 100th episode.
yeah,
Lot, you know,
100.
long may another 100. Wait for another 100.
Feature is great. Feature is great. Feature is great.
That's it. That's the spirit. um, cool. So we'll be back, like say, with the palette cleanser, and then we'll be back a week after that with a new season.
Yeah, it'll be
Exciting
good.
times.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, we'll catch you same anime place, same anime time, with your host Stephen Collin for Who's That Anime on
Peace out, folks.
101. See you later.
101
101.
Dalmatians on the run.
Not quite. Anyway, later.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow, look who's awake. We really are alike. Who would have thunk it, huh? When I pulled that katana out of your arm, the halves of your body stuck right back together.
You're dead. I swear I'll fucking kill you!
Boy, sore losers sure love to bark loud. I gotta stand guard till the cops come and grab you, but that isn't the only reason why I stuck around. I'm not all that satisfied with just defeating you. Don't think I forgot the awful things you did. Himeno's dead because of you, meaning your stupid ass robbed the world of one serious hottie. And now you're gonna live out your life in jail without being sorry for it? That won't leave a good taste in my mouth.
You talk like you can do something about it, but you're just public safety's mutt.
How's about a little contest?
Contest?
Huh? Hey, perfect timing.
Hayakawa, Squad 4. Target is restrained on the train tracks. The ones in front of the clock tower. Send backup.
Wanna get in on this too, Hayakawa? I guarantee it'll be the tits.
What the hell are you talking about?
I figured since he shot Himeno, we should get to take shots at him. It's only fair, yeah? Except it'll be like a contest. We'll take turns giving him the hardest nut shots we can. And whoever gets the loudest scream out of him before the cops show up is the winner.
What kind of psycho are you?
What? You ain't gonna play?
Our job is to catch this guy, and we're still on a mission. We shouldn't torture him to make ourselves feel better. Not like it'll bring her back. I doubt she would even approve.
Oh yeah?
So, what do I get if I'm the winner?
Heh, I thought his family jewels would make for a nice prize.
Wait, you aren't really gonna do it, are you? Guys, come on!
Himeno, can you hear this up in heaven? It's a requiem from us to you.